I got guns.
What's up, guys? This is part 2 of the Gunz tutorial. I'm going to be going over the synth and every synth track in it. But first off, a couple things. One, subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out a lot more videos. I'm going to be starting a new series called Quick Tips, where I'm going to have just like 30-second to 1-minute videos of just tons of production tips. I'm going to upload a bunch of them really soon. Number 2, when I uploaded part 1 of the Gunz tutorial with the drums, it got a bunch of dislikes, and I was trying to figure out why, so you might have noticed this comment. I personally don't care. It doesn't hurt my feelings if people dislike a video. That wasn't the point of me making that comment. But I make these videos and these tutorials for you guys, and so I'm thinking, oh, I did something wrong, or I'm not explaining things enough, and that's why people are disliking it. But come to find out, people just disliked it because it was trap. And that's stupid, because it's not about the genre, it's about the mixing and mastering and engineering. I learned pretty much everything that I know about mixing from my friend who does country in Nashville. It doesn't matter what genre it is, you can still pick up tips about the physics of sound and audio engineering. So if you find this tutorial helpful, please like it and give it a thumbs up, because it doesn't just help me out, but you're helping other people out, because the higher rating the video has on YouTube, it shows up in the related videos when people are watching other tutorials, helps them find good tutorials that are actually helpful and not people who don't know what they're talking about. And also, if you haven't noticed, I reply to a lot of comments. If you have a question or something, leave a comment and I'll try to get to it. But yeah, let's move on. Alright guys, so this one's going to be a little bit shorter than the drums tutorial, I believe, but we'll see. I'm just going to go down here. We're going to go through all the synths that I used in the track. I'll play you a little preview of what some of it sounds like. So yeah, starting from the top at the beginning of the song, I've got this guy going on. It's pretty basic. I think I just used a preset for it. Yeah, it's preset in massive, a square in space, and I tweaked it, and then I just got a filter going on. Most basic thing ever. Next one is this pluck. And I've got the filter on it, and then as the filter comes off, it sounds more like this. And I have another tutorial on how to make a pluck. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's like a 10-minute tutorial that I have on it. But if you want to just copy the settings or whatever, here's what it looks like in Synthz. What's really important in this sound is more the mixing aspect, the multiband dynamics. Once again, I've just used the OTT preset, and I tweaked it from there and adjusted some things, and that really brightens it up and gives it some punch. I'll take it off. So you can see how much sharper that makes it, because it's just like compressing the crap out of it, and then it just brings out some of the frequencies. And then of course this is huge too. I cut all the low frequencies out of it, so you're not getting a lot of the mid-range stuff, and everything is, when it sits in the mix, it's not colliding with the sub or anything. So here's what it sounds like. And the pluck is just, it's essential to that part, because it's moving the chord progression along and really giving it some, feeling and emotion. Alright, the next sound is this like dirty, hard style lead kind of sound. It sounds like this. And this is definitely my favorite sound in this song. Did a little bit of sound design on it. but it's got some pretty cool qualities. I think when I made this, I started out with like a massive preset, and then I just kind of ripped it apart and made my own out of it. But basically what's going on is you got the two square saw oscillators, and what's giving it the most of its sound is the acid filter. So if I take this off, that's what really makes it nasty, so it's like talking to you. But it's this envelope on the cutoff that's really making it just gross and give it that movement. So if I take this off, if I mute this, and then put it back on, that's what's making it like talk to you. So yeah, and then the what's it called? Parabolic shaper is giving it a lot of like distortion, and the clip distortion and everything. So you can look at how this is all set up in here if you want to, try and remake it or whatever. 4 voices, a little bit of detune here, monophonic, and a little bit of stereo spread. But yeah, going into the plugins, what really helps it out also is the overdrive. And I'm going to take these off first and show you. So that's the patch without the overdrive on it, and you add the overdrive to it. And then the OTT, like I did in the pluck. And now it's got some balls. The last thing with this sound is the way I give it that rising sound. That's the pitch rising and falling. And I'm just messing on my MIDI keyboard with the pitch bend. But if you make the patch in massive, you want to make sure that you go to the oscillator tab here, and your pitch bend is however you want to set it. I have an octave going each way, so it gives it a lot of bend. And then to program that into your MIDI clip, you go to the MIDI clip here, you're going to hit E, and then it'll bring up, it should just bring up pitch bend, but you might have to find it here. Go to pitch bend, and then you can just automate it. So here's what it sounds like. And then if you were to add more points and everything, it's just for demonstration. It would be like this. Take the filter off. Yeah, I pitch bend stuff all the time, especially going in and out of notes, because it gives it like the live feeling, like you're playing it on a guitar. For me, like I always slide in and out of stuff on guitar. But just a little insight. Alright, I almost forgot, the last thing actually for this sound is the delay and the reverb on it. So you can hear that. It's got a little of both. I hate the delay and the reverb in massive, and I just think it's easier if you do it yourself in Ableton anyway. So you can see I've got them going to return track. I never put the delay or the reverb directly onto the track unless I'm going for some kind of effect, like it's far away. But the delay, I'm just using, you can see I've got it routed to B, this filter delay right here. And I love the filter delay because you can get a nice big wide stereo spread with it. And I love using the little filters. So just pretty simple right there, just quarter note. And then for the reverb, I've got it going to this PSP Easy Verb, which is a cool like metallic sounding reverb. take a look at it right here. It's part of the PSP plugins, which are great. But yeah, I'll turn the delay off so you can hear the reverb more. So it makes it sound huge. Alright, so the next sound is just the lead sound and the drop, and it goes like this. It is a pretty simple patch, but there's a lot of processing after it that makes it really have some balls and stand out. It's Yo, Mutrix, what up, boy? Okay, hold on. Alright, so that was unexpected. That was Vanakava who just walked in. Forgot that he was coming over. But anyway, gonna get back to this silent patch. I'm leaving that in the video because it's hilarious. But, like I said, very simple patch. Just one oscillator in Silent, 2 voices. Here we go. I'm going to take all of the processing off of it and just build so you can see what everything does, like I always do. So here's what you start out with. Really basic. Then you put the sausage filter on it. Give it some sausage. And then, like I've been doing with the multi-band dynamics, the OTT, and then adjusting stuff. And then I put some reverb actually on the channel, and then there's reverb on top of the reverb, as I'll get to. But I like the metallic, like, room noise that reverb gave it. So really brands it up. Then some EQ right here. I think I cut this frequency out because it was getting in the way of the vocals in the mix. So that's another thing you can do. If you figure out like what frequency is getting in the way of something else and just cut it. I'll talk about that in my EQ tutorial. And then there's just a filter that's automated as when it builds up. And some EQ right here. I just took a little bit of high shelf off. And then some compression, the CLA 76 compressor. This is a Waves plugin, by the way. And then just another filter to kind of cut the low end out again. So yeah, a lot of stuff, but very basic what everything does. And then the last thing is the reverb that's on it, which you can see I'm sending it to this return channel, the Lexicon Hall reverb. And then I've got the reverb compressed, which is, I talked about that in the last tutorial, and then high passing, which I also talked about, which just takes the junk out of the reverb, kind of makes it stand out in the mix. If you notice, I put like a high pass on just about everything because you just want to keep that low end area as clean as possible. But basically, yeah, that's the sound, and I used it also in this like the build up for the song. So if you listen to this part right here. And then do the pitch bend trick again right here. And there's like all kinds of pitch bending going on in the MIDI. I'll consolidate this. It'll be easiest to show you like this. Oh yeah, I consolidated all those clips by hitting Apple J, by the way, if you don't know that trick. But basically go back in here where the pitch bend is, and this is all the pitch bend that's going on. So like I said, I like to pitch bend and slide in and out of notes. So here's what it sounds like. Here's a little trick that I did with this sound. When I have this like effect going on right here, this transition thingy. I basically recorded that sound in silent, like this thing. And then I put a filter on it, the bandpass filter. The reason I do that is because sometimes when you're just like putting a bunch of filters and automation, it can be annoying to switch it and turn it on and off, and sometimes Ableton, like the timing is off and it's not exactly to the grid. But that's just something I found useful, just to bounce the audio, and then it just sounds clean when you play it all together. So. Then we've got this like percussive thing right here. Which is just preset in Nexus, the percolator. And once again, multi-band dynamics and some funky EQing here. Not that special. Then just a couple more things. This build-up, Synthz. I don't know. This track isn't even being used. This guy. So that's in the build-up section. I got Gunz. Super simple again. Just a one oscillator patch. Nope, two. So you just saw here and saw here, and this isn't anything special really. Honestly, it just needed to be a noise that rose. And once again, I'm doing the pitch bend. If you look in the MIDI clip, it just rises the whole time. There's a little bit of delay and reverb on it. And yeah, I didn't even use that, so I can just delete it. Should have done it a long time ago. Moving on, we got these like pads right here. First one, just a Nexus preset. You can see I've cut the low end out, like always. Just these cello sounding things. And this one is a silent patch. I'm pretty sure for this, I just took my pluck and let's see. It's like a pluck that I took, and then I just extended the sustain and the release, and put a low pass filter over it. So it makes it a pad. Once again, this and this and this. So the last thing in the synth section is just a sub bass. This guy. Which I've transferred that to audio to save CPU, but it just sounds like this. There's a little run here. But if you've seen my sub-bass tutorial, which not many people have, it's my lowest viewed tutorial, I think. Very important. I go over this entire process and explain it. So that should pretty much do it for the synths in Gunz.